Are we live?
I have no idea. Normally takes a while to catch up.
We need to see. Yeah, it does. It's normally a little bit late.
Yeah.
Why are you wearing a mask?
Because you are.
I'm only wearing a mask because I farted.
How do you know that's any different this end?
I can tell you that they don't work.
Not for smells, anyway.
And I can't drink my wine with one of those on. So we lose them.
We are actually.
Good evening.
I'm going to turn volume off of my laptop before it blares out at us. There. How are we doing?
Marvelous. How are you?
Not too bad. I just rushed home from taekwondo lesson. So Scott does it every Monday and Thursday, taekwondo. But when the big boss goes, he's the man basically. He's like 7th grade taekwondo expert. It always runs on, always. And it was it was about 43 minutes past 7, and I had to pull him out of the lesson and bike home like a madman because it still wasn't.
Well done.
Yeah. So
you made good time, and then we had some issues with the technician getting it to work.
Yeah, so. Exactly. I made it at 8:40.
You made it in the end. When you say like the big boss turned up, in my head I've got like a really old arcade game where this huge thing with lots of guns and stuff arrives. Is that not the sort of boss that does taekwondo?
Normally I would say no, but he's a bit like that. He's like 6'8". He is like a big boss. You know, you do want to street fighter his ass.
You want to respect him.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, guarantee he'll kick your head in.
So, other than the boys kicking some butt, what else has been happening? You been okay? Tell me what's new in the world of Leroy.
Yeah, I've been pretty good. Obviously, I was up the track this weekend, but unfortunately, the weather had plans. Saturday was pretty good. Only a few puddles to clear in the morning, and we had a few JQ guys there doing laps, which was nice. And they had a good time. Like, literally, I was messing about with the kids because the kids were up with me for a bit, and then I went to get my car ready, put some fuel in the tank like this, turn around. Someone said it was pissing down. Looked out the window, and it was like the heavens had opened. So as I put fuel in my car, it started raining, and it didn't stop until the next morning.
That's disappointing.
Yeah. So then I woke up Sunday. There was a chap there that had come to have a go on the track, but I tried for like 2 hours. Kev came as well. We both tried to. My dogs are fighting. We both tried to clear the track, and it just wasn't happening.
No. I've seen the remnants of you clearing the track because when I arrived there today, there was a floaty thing in the bumhole. Yeah,
I left it in there with all the anticipation that maybe you might just need it there.
Yeah,
there was 0 point in me taking it back to the shed.
It's going to be needed extensively, isn't it? It's a sad sight. It's one that definitely brings a tear to my eye when I come in and I see it like that because I know the amount of work it needs to get it fixed. But
yeah,
we'll get it fixed.
That little pump was in there for about 2 hours, and it still looked like that. And I was like, oh man! And we had to hold Hoover out. The Hoover's fantastic, but unless I was doing something wrong,
Jules was out in force.
She was, but you have to fill her up and then empty her. It doesn't
do it. No, I know. That's disappointing that it doesn't do that bit.
It is, and there was quite a lot of dirt in the bottom, so I had to take it off and shovel it out as well.
Dirt in the bum hole that you shoveled out?
No, dirt in Jules.
Oh.
Yeah, Lord. Yeah. So it got up to a point where it was over the release valve, so I had to get in there with a shovel and clear some out, which was fun.
Wow.
So you can imagine
down and dirty.
You can imagine the fun I had Sunday morning.
I know that pain. I know it well.
You do.
So, other than that, what else? How's the puppies? Have they all gone now, or have we still got puppies in circulation?
No, we are dog free, apart from my 2 maniacs that are still there. So yeah, the last puppy went on Saturday, so we are puppyless. I literally cleared the cage out today and cleaned the floor and tried to not have it smell of puppy anymore.
Fantastic. I actually quite like the smell of puppy, which is a bit weird.
Yeah, but there's a nice smell of puppy and then there's puppy shit.
That I don't like so much.
Yeah. Nor did I every morning.
No. If we want that, we can just go and like smell our toilets or walk the hedges and smell the shit. We don't need the puppy cages for it.
Yeah, exactly. So,
any other random news?
Don't think so. Obviously, we've got some new stuff that's come in, which we'll tell people about in a bit. So there's no point saying that now.
Yes. No.
You had a weekend off, which was random news because that's very rare.
That is random news. It was very nice. Very nice weekend. Thank you.
What I'm going to do is just quickly go grab a drink, throw my dogs in the kitchen because it is like Royal Rumble. And there was fine.
You do that.
2 minutes before we started, there was no fighting.
What drink are you going to get?
This retard is fighting. I don't know. I've got to see if there's any wine in there. Look at him.
Good Lord. We just went full on penis on the TV screen. Sorry if there's any young viewers, but that was slightly traumatic for me. I wasn't expecting to see that at 8 o'clock on whatever we are. So what other random news have we got for you? Well, we've got some good stuff coming up. I think we've got some new products that we're going to talk about. A couple of them we've spoken about before, but they've actually finally got here, which is wonderful. I'm just looking through my prompts here. We're going to talk about some more complaints because it wouldn't be one of these casts if it wasn't to cover a couple of complaints that we've had, which is quite interesting. And then we're going to give you some real things to complain about shortly after that. Hopefully, we'll see. He's back. What did he find?
Nice glass of vino. Cheers.
What is it?
I actually don't know. What it is a couple of weeks old, and it's
it'll be all right.
Yeah,
it gets better with age. We haven't done the famous Leroy shout out.
No, we'll do it now. Because there's quite a few comments come on straight away, which was always nice to see. First guy on was not Yayan.
Oh,
it was Talbotini. So Talbot must have been not painting my body shells. Because he was straight on.
Talbot, we love you.
Davey Rolls, always one of the first comment. Evening, Davey. Leon Morel says, hi. Leon's still on holiday. That's why he couldn't come and see me. But at the weekend when I missed out on my pitman. But there we go. Harry Weymouth says, hi. Yayan says, evening both. He was the fifth guy on today, so he's slacking a little bit. Ashley Patterson says, yo, guys. Yo, Ashley. Martin Walters, thumbs up. Willam says, evening. Neil Thompson. Lost the shout out TQ already. You lost it by a long way, Neil. Gavin says, hello, chaps. How are you, Gavin? Tim Simpson, dad of young talent Ben, says, Ivan Bingham, hi, boys. Hi, Ivan. Live N5RC. Good day, guys.
Still my favourite Irishman. Sorry, I've just got to put it in there. Well, after Barkley. Then I was
going to say, Barkley's going to get upset. So Jamie Armitage says hi. Martin Hart says hi. Chris James says evening. Darren Warburton says good evening. Barry Abbott, haven't heard of your name for a while, Barry. Hope all is well, mate. Runs the track up in Bowden. Carlo Connor says laughy face. David Boyles, hi guys. Rich Gasson says oh hey. So oh hey Richie Gasson. I was just talking to him before we went live. Craig Homer says evening chaps. He's late. He had the horrible job of cat litter tray. Oh, lovely. Almost like puppy poo. Mr. Shorey says, hey guys, he's sat at work watching, and I'm sure he's in full PPE.
I'm sure he's in full PPE.
Oh, Shorey loves full PPE.
Full PPE, Shorey.
Mr. Lil Chili, I guess that's the name. Thumbs up. Lyndon says, hi guys from Jane and Don from Plymouth. We love having you on, Lyndon. And Luke Bennett says, evening. So there we go. We're all caught up.
I spoke to Lukey Boy earlier on, and he's coming to our race 4, which is good. He's been enjoying his comeback to racing after a bit of a break.
That's good. I always get a mini go at pitting him. Always have an attempt at pitting him each time before I get too busy or after Marshall or something.
Have a maximum go at pitting Lukey. He's like that.
It's good fun. Sean Berryman, who did very well at the weekend. If you saw, you probably haven't seen.
Shawnee Boy? No. What happened to Shawnee Boy?
So he made the main at Brookthorpe.
Very good.
Finished fourth in his semi.
Wow, that's very good.
Yeah, it was. He done very well. He qualified, I think. He's straight into the semi. He's 6th in the semi. I think he qualified 12th. And then, he finished 4th in his semi. Didn't crash through the whole semi-final. And then into the main, a wing mount fell off or something. He said he put it was his fault. So, obviously, some bad workmanship.
PPP.
PPP. Almost as good as PPE.
It is almost as good as PPE.
Magnus says, evening. Barry Abbott, not bad. Need to get a race meeting arranged with you guys soon. Yes, you do. You need to come over, Barry.
Race 4 is there. We've got 4 spaces left, I think, as of tonight.
Wow, is that it? Wow. 4 spaces?
Yeah, I think so. Well, it was 6, and then I realised that you and I hadn't entered, so
That normally happens every race.
I know.
We're like, oh, we haven't put ourselves in.
Sorry, mate. There's just no space. You should have entered earlier. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's it. Our mate Al Bridgman, Mr. Digger himself, says, evening, roll on the bank holiday. And Shuri says he's fully orange.
Blimey.
So,
we'll call him David Dickinson.
Yeah, there you go. Bargain.
Cash in the thing.
So let's do a debrief of RaceThree before we forget and move on to other glorious things. Also, we're going to talk this week about setups and stuff we did because our man in Ireland loves to hear that stuff, so we'll do that too.
That is very good, and I think we should firstly apologise because we've been very late in doing a post-race. We're a week late. We're supposed to do it on a Monday. For various reasons, there's been lots going on. We haven't quite managed to get it done. So sorry for being late on our post-race review.
Yeah, it
so
seemed like
post-race review.
We like missed a day, and then it was a week later, and we're like, oh god.
I know. We didn't. We spazzed on that. That's not good. So yeah, how did it go? Over to you.
So it was hot, very, very warm. Obviously, we'd oiled the track.
Warm in a minute.
Where are you?
I'm at Unicorn HQ.
Okay, cool. Don't know why I said that. So yes, we'd prepped the track all beforehand, and we'd re-oiled it. Obviously, we'd put more oil down, so the track was very, very smooth. The track was very, very grippy, like grip that we haven't seen before, even since the beginning. The sun really helped to bake that on. So there was a few quick guys there. Obviously, Elliot and Slop were there, and they'd been doing quite a practice beforehand. So Slop and Elliot were there. Slop was there Thursday, Friday. Elliot was there on the Friday, so they were fully practiced up. Me, myself, I turned up on a Friday, but I had a family day, so I didn't actually practice until the Saturday morning. Just trying to rely on talent, really. Probably wasn't the best idea. And
we sold that.
Yeah.
Part number
LMR Hub.
NMR 03. Yeah, exactly.
So my personal race wasn't the best thing in the world. Almost got TQ, and I thought I did have it, but slowed down a little too much on the last lap after Elliot had crashed, because I thought I just needed to TQ the round with a quick time, which I thought I was getting. I didn't realise Sloppy was that close to us. So as I slowed down like a second on the last lap, Slop pipped me by 0.1, so just missed out on a TQ. And then the final for me was just a clusterfuck.
Good Lord. Are you allowed to say that?
I don't know. Cluster truck, I said.
Cluster truck.
That's a game my kids play, weirdly.
Cluster truck.
So, it just didn't go very well. Kept crashing, but at good pace.
You did. And what was very encouraging is your practice session that you did, I think it was 2 days after the race. I think you got down to 39.3, which is fairly fast.
Yeah, so we already broke the lap record in qualifying because I did a 39.7 at the race, which is the first time I've ever seen anyone go under 40, which was awesome. And it was the first lap of a qualifying session, so it was like, I felt like Bruno Coelho. I come out the box like swinging.
You did, and that actually, to be fair, that's not something that I would say of you. Normally, you play yourself into a run. I think I was commentating that thing, and it was like lap 1 was a 39.7. I was like, "Whoa, that's quite fast."
It was good. I still didn't TQ that round. I don't think. Well, maybe I did. I can't remember.
I think you did. No.
It might have been the one I actually did. So yeah, come out the box swinging. Elliot also matched it in the final. We did a 39.7 in the final. So that was our benchmark. And then when I went back to the track on Wednesday, the sun was still out, so it was still good grip, and got down to a 39.3, which it wasn't even a perfect lap. I was quite sure with a perfect lap I could have done a 39.0. So,
well, you're just showing off.
Yeah, I mean, made a few setup changes, which hindsight's always a wonderful thing. Went backwards on the setup because where I'd gone to just didn't help anyway. So what I'd done during the day was I'd increased the caster in the car, which, it makes it a little less twitchy, but it just made it a little bit unpredictable. So it would kind of understeer a little bit, but then kind of hook and catch you on the way out. That was just a bad setup choice from me. So I went back to kind of where I was and then tweaked it from there. I went from a long link in the front to a short link to give the front end more support. Obviously, it gives you more.
Did that work? I mean, I've had Graham give me the debrief on that, saying that was a good thing, made the car quite a bit easier to drive and faster too. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. You don't get it hooking late in the corner, which when you have grip can create quite a lot of inconsistencies, because that's when the car will generally go on two wheels, not really on the exit. It was like mid to exit, not really on the entry, it was mid to exit where it would like catch something. So that really helped out there. I also played with the position of the LMR rear hub. Now we can do that. So the hub was all the way up. So like the opposite to standard, if you were, because our standard position is all the way down. There you go. Look at that lovely picture. And the car
is that working?
It was this. Yeah, the picture works. It was quickest when the hub was up, but sometimes it was a little inconsistent because it felt quite stiff in the back. So when the hub was in the middle, which is a hole we've never had before, which we can now have due to these hubs, that's when it was in the sweet spot for me.
Okay. So hub up, just for clarity, that's obviously the stock position that you'd get on a plastic hub?
No, hub down is stock.
The other way around?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you can see that on the
nothing.
picture, the one in the left side, so the outside, that is hub down. So that's our standard plastic hole. The one in the right, that is middle. That's 2 mil up. And then if you spin the other one upside down, you go 4 mil up. So 2 mil increments.
Yep. Perfect. Marvelous.
Also, one thing we have on this hub, which we don't have on a stock hub, is the 4 holes in the top. And that is 1 extra hole longer, not shorter.
Okay.
So you can actually get the camber link directly over the pin. So
the other thing as well with this style hub, excuse me, nearly burping live on air, which would have been just.
John has frozen by all accounts.
Some other upland. Away you go.
Sorry, you're back. You completely frozen. Whatever you just said, and come back saying away you go.
Did I? I was just saying, with the way that we've done the hubs, the great thing is if we come up with some different link positions or anything like that, you won't have to buy the really expensive part, which is the alloy hub itself. You'll be able to just buy the carbon plate with whatever, because we're always tinkering around with these positions and just trying stuff. I mean, sometimes people might see things on the car and they think, oh, what's that? It's where we're just trying something different to see if we can make something better. And if we do, then the plate will be released and away we go.
Yeah, exactly. When you never know when you fall upon something that's awesome just by trying it. There's also some new exciting inserts that are going to come out for that hub soon, but they're just not ready yet. So we'll talk about them when the time comes.
Yes.
That was my race. What did you think of the race in general? I
thought it went really well. I think we got good feedback from a lot of people. I think they had fun, which is big on my list, as you know. I'm not. It's all about having fun for me. You know, we want to do well and all the rest of it, but we want people in that field to really enjoy it, feel they're at an event rather than just a club race, that sort of stuff. I think that went really well. I think Elliot was exceptional. He looked good on the track. I don't think I saw him. We had a couple of little wobbles in the final, but I don't actually think I saw him like properly crash. And yeah, I think he deserved to win that race. So top marks to him. I think he's my star of the. He's not my star of the show actually. My star of the show for that race was Nick Simerson. He bumped up, and I pitted for him in like an hour and 20 minutes worth of finals. So he's my star of the show, just because he never bumps up normally. Normally something breaks or something goes flat or we have an engine cut or whatever. But he had the dream team of a pit crew. And he bumped up. He wore us out, to be fair. So he's my star of the show. I think Elliot did cool. I think we should get straight on to the disappointments. So who's your disappointment of race 3?
My disappointment of race 3.
I can't hold my breath that long.
I know. I actually thought about this a week ago when I thought we were having the show. And I can't now.
I haven't decided
who
on
I was going to pick. I'll tell you who was one of my standout good showings. Was Jack Hurst.
Actually, that's true. To be fair,
he came from the C final, and obviously that extra final time really allowed him to settle in because he finished, I think, 5th in the end. But he was in the midst of myself and Lewis Jones having a colossal battle. He was right there on our toes at on us towels at some points, and it's also good. The Serpent team have come and supported us, and they got a good result out of it, which is nice to see.
They did, yeah.
He drove a stellar race, so props to him. So disappointment. Really,
I hear that a lot.
What, this huffing?
No, the disappointment. It sounds like a normal week at work.
Mate, I am pretty stumped right now. I'm disappointed Tommy didn't finish a final yet.
Yeah, that's disappointing because they need to. They should.
I said to him, we were chatting before finals had come round. I said, "Have you finished an 8th scale final yet?" He's finished the first ever one he did, which was on Astro, Deerdow, I think.
Deerdow, I think. Yeah.
Since then, I don't think he's finished one. I'm disappointed for him that he hasn't finished a final yet.
Yes, I would agree. I would agree. That was one of my highlights of racing. Actually, was I got to race those two in the B final, which was quite fun. Yeah. Until I threw it off the island. But for early doors, it was good fun racing those two guys.
But who was your disappointment apart from me? You can take me out of it because that's just an easy choice.
You'd never disappoint me, firstly, because I know how hard it is to win these things, and you won the first 2, so it's super easy to sit there and go, "Oh God, why did you crash?" It's I've been on the other side of that. No one ever wants to actually crash. So
no, I disappoint myself.
I think we're dead. Exactly, you were dead right on Jack Hurst. I'd momentarily forgotten him, but he was super impressive, and I raced him as well in that B final. And for big bits of it, it looked like he was in contention for a podium, which I think is fantastic. And like you said, the Serpent guys are coming and supporting us all the time, so that was really cool for them to get a result. On the disappointment side, who was I disappointed with? Can I say myself? Was that a bit?
That's a cop out. That's the same as me doing it.
Okay, but I was disappointed with myself.
And me.
I was disappointed. I was disappointed that Kev once again had something happen and couldn't finish. So he's not the disappointment. I was just disappointed. I don't know whether I can use that or not.
Yeah, well, that's what I used for Tommy. I didn't say Tommy was a disappointment.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'd really like to see. Exactly. I'd like to see his pace, which he shows like every time, actually mean something for him in the end. Because he's a super good guy. He's come and helped us so much at the track, as you know. And I think it would be cool for him to get a result to not reward that, but reward it in a way. Because I know he'd be happy with that. So
he made the main this time.
So we'll go with that.
He's made the other mains, but he's made it straight off the bat this time.
Straight off the bat, and lap time wise, he was right there with you and Elliot as well on quickest lap, apart from your superstar lap. But past that, he was there and competing, and loving the Roscoe shocks and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'd like to see him actually finish a race.
Yeah, Yeah.
See where he is. See where he is at the end of it.
That's it. We'll give a shout out to our Talbot. He made the B final.
That is true. That is the only problem when you've got to try and pick one is hard because there's always multiples, and that is a massive effort for him. He's only just crossed over to running steer wheel radio as well from being on sticks since I've known him. He's run sticks. I think it was only his second race on a steering wheel, and I think a B final in that crowd with a full race, everything else, that's something that's pretty impressive. And he looked cool on the track, and he looked like in place as well in that B final. He deserved to be there. So yep, you're right. That's impressive.
Yep, that's cool. Right, so that's our disappointments or disappointed elements, and our winners.
My socks.
Your socks.
I've just was smelling my socks. But you were probably looking away at that point. They're a disappointment.
The rain is a disappointment right now.
Oof.
Let me.
I don't know whether we just didn't like realise it because we didn't have a track, but we do seem to be living in a really weird time for weather. We've either got we've gone to a tropical climate. We've either got 35 degrees and everything is so dry you can't do anything, or we've got monsoon weather and everything's a lake and you can't do anything. It's quite weird trying to run a track in this time.
It's not just rained, has it? It's smashed it down.
No,
I don't really understand why. It's a pain in the ass.
I think you texted me on the Saturday. You'd had a good day at the track, you got it dry and everything else, and then you texted me, it was like, it's absolutely pouring down. And I looked on our cameras and I was like, that's disappointing.
And it got worse.
The amount of work it is to try and clear it, it's got worse.
By the time we went to bed, it was okay. Like, it could have still been done in the morning, and through the night it woke me up. Like, it was that loud, and I was just like, I've got no chance. I've literally got no chance. I phoned Kev because I knew Kev was coming up. I'm like, when are you getting here? Because this is quite some job.
You're looking for backup.
Yeah, I was. I was dragging the old Hoover around, thinking, what am I doing? I'm never getting to clear. But there was a chap there that with his young lad, and I thought I'd try and do what I could to try and get him out there. But in the end, he went home. So it was in vain.
Dumb bloke, yeah, exactly.
I've just got a few comments going on. Carl O'Connor said, Lee, Lewis and Jack were epic to watch in the final. I must admit, me and Lewis had a good race. He didn't have the pace in this final. Again. I think he went on a bad tyre choice. Didn't really have the grip. But due to my inconsistencies, it was a right cat and mouse. And it was good fun. I was just like, happy him crash. And he was holding his nerve. It took some moves to get around him.
It did. You did a good move. You did a good move on Lewis.
Yeah, it's one of my best ones, and I told him about it many times. So live N5RC, are we talking about the 319 or 319E? I think that's to do with the hubs, and it will be both.
Yes.
Alan Bridgman says he predicts that he will be a disappointment for race 4.
It's impossible because he's actually coming to that race, so you cannot be a disappointment, Dig, if you're actually going to turn up. I can't believe, and I don't care about lockdowns, I can't believe that we've done 3 races and my mate's not been there for any of them. That's just poo. 4-4.
He's got a bit of a
first
commute.
15 rounds are on you.
He's got a bit of a commute.
That's no excuse. He's only in Scotland. It's just up the road.
Exactly, yeah. At least he ain't got to fly.
He could take his helicopter and come down.
Yeah, there you go. Davey Rolls said, looked so busy from what I saw of the racing. It was Andy grab a shell. Because Davey come up and grabbed his body shells. Chris James says, Kev was an awesome help that weekend. Nick Simerson says, evening, guys. Flying visit for now. We'll watch later on catch up. Fuel gun and new tyres ready.
He won't know. He won't know that he's featured as my star of the show.
No, he won't. But he will do.
He'll be on catch up.
Richard Gasson said, imagine if the track had a roof on it. Imagine that.
Well, yeah.
Imagine all the people.
Could possibly be something that looks a little bit like that.
Wow.
But then I'm going to take it away.
That would be mega, wouldn't it? Anyway, moving on. Carl O'Connor says, same at Brookthorpe yesterday. 1 hour after the main final, it was fully flooded and had rivers running down the straight. The good thing about Brookthorpe, though, Carl, is you're on a big hill. Oh, hello, we're back again.
Yes, it is on a big hill, and I love Brookthorpe. It's a cool track.
Yeah, we need to get there again. No, we need to get there.
We do. It's just hard trying to fit everything in now. I guess we kind of knew that was going to be the case. It would change how we go racing in some ways. Obviously, we're always going to be doing the nationals and the big races and everything else with the Nemo van, and that's never going to, that's important to us, and it's what we're built on. But it is then hard to put back in everything else as well and get to all these other races, which would be nice to do.
It is. Although I was chatting to Carl at the weekend about doing some kind of inter-club series with Brookthorpe, and he was very keen.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, me and you too. I'm sure that'd be good.
Yeah, exactly. Nice, another semi-local track, which is great to drive on. John,
and they're nice people that are not like some weirdos.
Yeah, they're lovely.
So
yeah,
that's good.
We were very appreciative of them allowing us to use a track before lockdown happened, when it was still AstroTurf.
We could lend them jewels.
Yeah, there you go. John Glasbrook, is that an hair on your head, John? Hang on,
no,
rabbit. It looks like a hair from it.
I'm busy trying to grow some hair, Johnny boy. Good to see you online. I'm surprised you know how to use a computer to get online. So that is absolutely he's the star. He's the star of the show there. We've been able to get on, but Glazer, glad to see you're online.
Yeah, he's
buddy.
definitely got some help to log him into that.
Is that hair on me? Yeah, it's a couple.
Oh, Wayne Davis says, "Get well soon, Pete." Did you see Pete from Answer had he had a stroke?
No.
Yeah, he's in hospital at the moment. I think it all looks okay, but he had a mini stroke or something.
Jesus, well, yeah, get well. Pete's a good guy, so I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was on Facebook today. I only randomly saw it. For anyone that doesn't know me that well, I do not have Facebook. I only have like a messenger. And it was very rare. Kev tagged me in something earlier, so I went on actual Facebook and I saw it. So get well soon, Pete.
Yeah.
Hope everything.
Yeah, get well soon, buddy.
Digger says vodka and iron brew. Carl O'Connor says they need a route.
Wait, what about your fake profile that you've got?
Which one?
I don't know. There's a few, isn't there?
Oh, there's loads, mate. They're all on Grinder.
Yeah. Exactly. I'd be worried I see Jim Thompson on Grinder.
I actually did have a fake profile once. Someone it ripped me off. Yeah, I had my cars on there and all sorts. It was weird.
Oh no.
So, right, let's talk about setup stuff and what we did and what we changed and what we think worked and why.
Okay, that sounds good. So what did you do and why did it work?
Yeah, so obviously we had a lot more grip than normal. So our standard setup was still okay, but not ideal. I think one of the major things that we both changed, because you were using someone else's car, Mr. Roscoe's car, but what we both changed,
thank you very much for that,
was diff oils.
Yes.
Talk us through it.
We did. I'm not sure what I had in mind in the end. I think we went stiffer, I hope.
Yeah, you did.
I think we dropped into either 12.5 or 20 in the front. And I think, for me, that always makes the car feel like it's pulling from the front a bit more. So imagine like a road car, if you've got all of your power to the rear wheels and it's a bit slippy when you floor it, the rear wants to come out and it's quite hard to hang on to. If you're in a front wheel drive car and you do the same, it tends to just push on and understeer. And I think when you stiffen up that front diff, you lose a little bit of initial steering, so it makes it a bit easier when you're getting on the power. And then once it's finally got going and you're away, it pulls really hard from the front, so you actually gain steering. So like coming onto our straight through that corner there, going stiffer in the front diff is always a big gain for me. Rather than washing out to the outside, you can decide where you want to be onto the straight. So I personally always like a stiff front diff. I think probably more so than you do normally. I think on the big flowy tracks like Westmill or ours, places like that, I think it's quite a big gain to go up in that front diff. It just makes the car feel easier, and normally the lap time's faster as well. So I always like a stiff front diff.
Like a stiff front diff. Yeah, I would agree. I went up to 15, not so high as you. I mixed mixed some oils, and got to about 15. And yeah, for me it was great. It took the initial bite away, pulled it harder from the front out of the turns, like you say. You can just get on the gas a bit earlier and hold it on way longer.
Yeah.
And it doesn't kind of diff out and do the whole four-wheel drive on carpet thing. Yeah, that was good. We played with shocks, always playing with shocks and different balls. We played with different shock balls on there. I still kept with the traditional 2 brake balls on my shock shafts, whereas Kev, now we have some different option balls.
We do.
Different sizes that are specifically made for being bump stops. So I know we were playing with all them, and Kev liked the single big ball. Kev likes a single big ball, and Adolf.
I was going to say, can we call it the Hitler?
Yeah,
that's probably wrong.
So yeah, so that was good. And then obviously the hub stuff with the LMR hub, it was played with after the race for me because I just completely forgot it was even on there, really.
Yeah,
is awesome.
So your hub, completely explainable.
Yes, so they went on sale yesterday, which is great. And
it's very good.
Yep, so they're available now from nemoracing.com. So yeah, that was some big things for me. What was the other thing? The link, what we talked about earlier, and then tires. We both ended up on the 6 Mic Magma again.
Yeah, very good.
I think we both thought that we could have had a harder compound.
Yeah, definitely. I think with that sun coming out, I mean, every time we oil the track, it does something different anyway. So it's like we're trying to learn it as well as we go along. And the amount of traction that it had was absolutely insane. You know, you could have driven the car on the trim almost. It was that responsive on the steering because it had so much traction. And that's something that we've not really seen before. And I think also not something you massively see from oiled tracks either. They tend to be that little bit slick, floaty around. That's the feel for me. I don't drive as much as you guys, but that was not the case in the finals. It felt like we were racing on AstroTurf. It was wild. And so I think a harder compound would have been helpful. Having said that, with all the rain that we've had now, everything that we think that we've learned is probably just gone out the window, and we'll be back to a normal, like quite slick, floaty track for the next race.
Yeah,
that's the beauty of off-road, I guess. It's always different, isn't it? You can go to the same track like 5 days in a row and it will run differently. You can't think that you know it all. You just have to be prepared to react to whatever you get on a particular day.
Yeah, exactly. I spoke to Sebastian Leonard from 6 Mic today, actually, and it described what we felt from the last race. And he said if that happens again, it would be good to try the blue weapon because the pin's a little thicker. It doesn't roll as much.
Okay.
Which would be good, although I think you'd still want the speed out of the Magma. So he said they have a harder compound in silver.
You have to do magma.
But so yeah, he's going to send some of the silver stuff for us to test.
Okay. Oh, cool. That's good. I actually hadn't paid enough attention to know that there was the next grade up that was available to us. So we'll try and make sure we've got all of those variants covered for race 4, which is going to be fast upon us.
Fast and furious, because Willem also wants some 6 Mic stuff, which you messaged about earlier. I've not forgot you, Willem. Don't worry.
Yes.
Need to make the next order.
Yes. We've not forgotten. We've not.
So we've talked about motivators. What have you got? What else is there?
Well, we did spend a fairly large amount of the week talking to the council on various different points, which is probably worth mentioning, I think, for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into a rant. Because there's just no need to go into a rant. Before I go into a rant, because that's what's going to happen, can I just put that photo up? Because I think that's cool.
No, that is a nice photo.
And without that family last week, or not last week, the week before, our RaceThree probably would have not been as good as it was, because we lost Dave midway through the week as he had to go home, and we'd like half ripped the track and half oiled the track, and there was stuff that needed to be done, and without that family it probably wouldn't have happened. So thank you to the Roscoes again.
Yep, as always.
Every time it's exactly. Even
we've lost John again.
Navy got in with Where were we going before that? Before I threw that one up, what were you asking me? I can't remember. Oh yes, the council. You weren't asking me anything. So just one other health and safety thing, actually, while we're on it, was our. That's not working. Why is that not working? I've lost Leroy. Come back, Leroy. You back? It's coming. He's coming. Maybe. There he is. He's back. Health and safety shoes.
Look good then, mate.
For all you haters out there, that is our standard spec health and safety rolling shoe. So the council, yes. So we had a few complaints again. We had, well, you know it. You had half of these ones. I'm afraid this time around we had a noise. How did that go? We had a noise complaint.
A noise complaint. Yeah, that was. It was okay. I mean, a guy came down to the track, and we had a nice chat. And he loved to see the place, and he thought it was awesome. And but he just had to go and speak to whoever made the noise complaint down the road. I think it was just where it was so sunny at the weekend. There was a bit of wind. I think it travelled further than what it normally would. Obviously, we have planning permissions and we run within the timescales. It's just these people have not heard it for however many years, but there's not much we can really do about that, to be honest. If anyone knows my career before, I dealt with acoustics, so acoustic barriers and such on motorways and all that stuff. And yeah, I mean, well, the hedge can grow and stuff, but what else can you massively do?
You can't, and I think we'll be fine with that because they were sensible, and we've got our permissions in place and all the rest of the stuff. Of the three, my favourite one was the next one, which was that we were running an illegal campsite. We'd had somebody on site apparently that had reported us for running an illegal campsite and providing water and showers and electric and all these other good things, which would be lovely.
In our toilet, hey, go ahead.
That could be a fairly dirty shower as it reuses the waste to keep it going. But I mean, if it floats your boat, then who am I to say otherwise? So that was a fantastic one. So to explain that we're not a load of gypsies in a field, and we actually are there racing toy cars. Well, we are a load of gypsies, and we are in a field, but we are racing toy cars, so we've got permission to do that. That's okay. And then my favourite one was somebody that was actually on site. I'd love to know who this person was, rather than just trying to cause us issues. Just come and speak to us, and we'll give you a socially distanced stroke and bury you in the bomb hole. That we were not doing any social distancing, and we were flouting all of the rules. So we had the council COVID police get in contact with Mr. Leroy. Yeah. Lovely lady, to be fair to her. She seemed to, listen to everything you'd said. We had to show our risk assessments and stuff that we've done for COVID and show all of our, what provisions we have in place for social distancing and stuff. And I'm very, very pleased to say that they gave us a clean bill of health and very happy with all of the measures that we have in place. So,
yeah, and wish us good enough for them.
Yeah, very best of luck with the upcoming races that we have. I think that's a good step, actually, to have actually had that from the council rather than the curtain twitchers. We've been looked at, we've shown what we're doing and the measures that we have, and been given a clean bill of health. I think that's a very good thing, because anyone subsequently is probably going to get batted away quite quickly. Which is nice.
Exactly. I mean, it's all these things are going to happen once. They just all happen in the same week.
Exactly.
And so we just
why not?
Yeah, I almost
see these tired eyes.
It's funny when I get a phone call and it's from like a random number in the Midlands. I'm like, here we go again.
Yeah, exactly. What now? Yeah, I did it. Just lock me up. Throw away the key. Give me grapes every 2 weeks, and that'll be fine. I quite like grapes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's been fun. Look at that little bad boy.
So the best news of the week is that the Heineken Torpedo, which can put any alcoholic beverage into it, is now fully functional and working, and has the torps at HQ to help us through our week.
Wicked. Although we're not sending these to the general public, we do not need a license.
No, just before you complain to the council, it's purely for our own benefit not for anybody else's.
Exactly. So,
one last product. I don't even know. Do you know about this? I'm not sure. We now have a underdrive for the 319 series of cars, which will make it very, very, very easy to drive. Basically makes the rear diff turn slower than the front diff, which makes it feel like a two-wheel drive car, or like a front-wheel drive car. Sorry, not a two-wheel drive car, front-wheel drive car once again. So for all those throttle junkies like me, that will be a very good option, and that will be in from next week.
Yeah, and I always like running it. Like in the past with other cars, I always like running it underdrive. I think there are proper horses for courses for me. Some track it absolutely excels, and some tracks it just doesn't feel quite right. But yeah, it's something I would always have in my box. Like when I drove for Mugen, I would normally start with the underdrive in, and then if my car was a bit sketchy and I felt like it wasn't quite handling right, then I took the underdrive out, because it was a weird one, because where it works is random compared to where it doesn't, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it always felt better to start with it in and go away from it if I needed to, rather than the other way around.
It's always better to start with it in, Leroy. That's life lesson number 302. But yeah, I think that's going to be a super popular choice for everybody. Just makes the car easy to drive. And if the conditions are loose or slippery or anything else, it really excels. I know we had someone testing one of the prototype ones at the weekend at Westmoor, and they thought it was really good in tricky conditions. So that was good. I've got one more photo. One more photo that I can throw up. Now, this is something that I think everybody that's watching this, 57 of you, which is probably my mum on 56 accounts and one other, is I think you should complain about this person. I mean, look at that hairdo. That is a reason to ring the council and say there's some bad shenanigans going on at Nemo Raceway.
Why is that?
I would rather be bold, Danny, than try and rock one of those throws.
He only lives over there. I can go and find that. I can see it.
Well, I should think you could probably look out the window and see it. I'm surprised it actually fits in the house.
That's why it's not raining in Newbury. It can't get under that.
Yeah, exactly. You've got your own solar system. I need to back that up with saying that man volunteer marshals like so many times. I think he did 4 or 5 finals for us again at the last race. He's done it at every race.
Yeah, but so, you know,
like a massive thank you. I know I might be taking the flight.
Do you know a very disappointing thing about that?
What, the hair or the marshalling?
No. My wife.
Are you going to beat the man while he's done?
My wife, Liz, almost moaned at me for marshalling too much because she thought I was Danny.
Wow.
He had a hat on.
I don't even begin with that.
I know.
Or did he?
He had a hat on and sunglasses on, but she thought it was me marshalling over and over and over again.
Was that in her dreams, or was it? That seems like a fairly random
dodgy website, knowing Danny.
Well, on that bombshell.
On that bombshell, John is froze. He's probably
you and I.
You've unfroze.
Are you still there?
You've unfroze. You're back. You're back.
So. That's it. Yes. So, should we shout it out to any last things that have come in?
There's not a massive amount on there. Lewis Jones said that he would have kicked my ass if he was there for both days. Lewis, you could have been there a week. You would have still got to overtake him around the outside. Rick says, evening, Rick. Rick got his new body shells this week from our man Paintworks, and he's loving them, which is great.
Very good.
Craig Homer says, Knobhead's complaining just like the people that bought the house on the back of the Brands Hatch GP circuit and then complained. Yeah. You got to have complainers in the world, I'm afraid. Otherwise, there'd be no jobs for all these council people.
Exactly.
Andy Beaumont said, got any cheap tarmac? Glasbrook says, medicinal purposes only.
Medicinal.
There we go. It's my bad English. Not really much to report. Craig Homer said he looks like a member of Kagagoo, or whoever that is. That's before my time, obviously. John, you might know who they are.
Cheers, mate.
Glasbrook says, a question for you, John. What radio gear do you use?
Samoa M17 is what I currently use. I used Futaba for a very long time and loved it and loved their easy menu system. I think the Samoa menu system is shocking, and they must. I'm fairly sure that they are Android users that have made the Samoa system, because it is poo. However, the feel of that radio and the response of that radio and all those other good things that actually really matter is fantastic. So, like the champ there, I use Samoa.
Yeah. Ivan, we will be doing a video on the new hubs. I will be doing one this week when I go to the track, so no worries there. Neil Tom said, yeah, we're going to do a temp scale race as soon as we can. We'll do a rear motor class, and I'm going to be racing in it. Do we have any truggy tyres in stock? I don't think so, do we?
No, but they are on our next order, which is imminent. So yes, very shortly we will have truggy tyres in stock.
Cool. So on that bombshell, I'm going to wrap it up. Everyone,
are you in trouble?
No. Everyone subscribe if they like what we do. Hit the like button if you enjoyed yourself. All the 57 watches over the past 50 minutes.
Look at that.
Liz is laughing at me. I don't know why. Why are you laughing at me?
What?
Why are you laughing?
I wasn't.
Oh, she's looking at her phone. She's
That was just a win.
So, truggy tyres apparently in high demand for the truggy series. No one's got any, so we need to get ours in.
Yep.
Because they are the best truggy tyres anyway. And yeah. Anything to say, John?
Take them out of the packet and rock and roll. No, not really. Thank you very much for anyone that's watching, and we will do another one. When are we going to do another one? Let's actually get something like regular going, because we've been used.
We got to do Mondays, haven't we? Mondays at 8 o'clock or 7:45.
Yeah, Mondays work because we can do the post-race stuff as well, and then when we've got a race weekend on, we need to do the pre-race show like we've been doing on the Fridays and stuff. So we'll be back next Monday with probably not very much news and some more complaints probably, and a noisy scooter. But yeah.